Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear colleagues, we are discussing communication, and today is the third session of communication. In the first session, we learned what is communication, what are the three components of communication, and we learned that communication is a two-way process. And in yesterday's session, we learned the three components of speaking, that is the verbal component, the paraverbal component, and the non-verbal component. As said in the first and the last yesterday's session, we knew that the listening has also got three components, and these are the same as for speaking: the verbal component, the paraverbal component, and the non-verbal component. Today, we shall understand and discuss these three components of a listening, that what does it mean and how we can make it desirable so our listening becomes active and our communication becomes a successful process. So as said before, the listening three component is vertebral, verbal, paraverbal, and non-verbal. The verbal component of listening, you see, again, the verbal component, you may say that listening, how it will be the verbal component? The verbal component means paying attention to the words and feelings that are being expressed. You are listener, I am speaker, so the verbal component of your active listening will be if you pay attention to the words and feelings that are being expressed by me to you. Okay, then using the reflective listening tools such as paraphrasing at times, reflecting, summarizing, and questioning to increase the understanding of the message and help the speaker tell his story. For example, when I am speaking in a live session, you are listening, and at times you just paraphrase that, you reflect that, sir, you mean this, or you ask me some questions, sir, you really mean this by what you are saying? This will be the verbal component, and this will make your listening as an active listening. Understand? Okay. So what are the paraverbal component? Just like paraverbal component of speaking, there is paraverbal component of listening as well. The paraverbal component, by this we mean that in order to understand the total meaning of a message, we must be able to gain understand about both feelings and content of the message. We should be able to understand that. We are often more comfortable dealing with the content rather than the feelings. This is fact. That in communication and listening, we are more comfortable when we concentrate at the content, not at the feelings. Particularly when the feelings are intense. This is also very, very important. It may not be a classroom communication. It may be personal communication. It may be conflict-solving communication. It may be dispute-solving communication. So this is very, very important that we understand the feelings as well. And our tendency is to try and ignore the emotional aspect. This is, you say, okay, by habit, he or she is doing this way. Let's concentrate on the content. No, you have to concentrate on the feelings as well. And this will be able to solve the substance of the issue, or to reach to the conclusion or the positive outcome easily. So the paraverbal component of listening is that, of course, in the verbal you communicate, you ask, you clarify yourself, and you concentrate on the content. In the paraverbal, you concentrate on the feelings of the content as well. This is very, very important. So the non-verbal component, if I summarize, it includes giving full physical attention to the speaker. This is the non-verbal component, and being aware of the speaker's non-verbal messages. The verbal component was to understand the content, the paraverbal was to take care of the feelings, and the non-verbal component of listening is to give full physical attention to the speaker and being aware that the speaker's non-verbal messages were taught. So what do I mean by giving full physical attention to the speaker? That is the non-verbal component of listening. Attending is the art, we know that, and skill of giving full physical attention to another person. This is an art, no doubt in that. And listening with the whole body. There's a phrase, listening with the whole body. Your looking, your hearing, your concentration, your body language, your attention, everything. Effective attending is a careful balance of alertness and relation that includes appropriate body movement, eye contact, and posture of involvement. This is also important. In a classroom communication, somebody saying, and you're just, this is not the way. Or one-to-one personal communication, there is no eye contact, he is speaking something and you're looking here and there and just playing with the watch or something like that. So this affects the listening badly. Fully attending says to speaker, what are you saying is very important. I am totally present and intent on understanding you. So when the speaker looks at you with a in person-to-person communication, when there's eye contact, you have full attention, that communication is an effective one. We create a posture of involvement by learning gently words, gently towards a speaker in one-to-one, or that you can just gently lean forwards, leaning gently towards the speaker, facing the other person squarely, maintaining an open posture and arms and legs uncrossed. So the whole body posture is very, very important. And of course, maintaining appropriate distance between the speaker and us. This is very, very important. And of course, moving our bodies in response to the speaker. Suppose a speaker is having some posture and we do with that. This is the non-verbal component of listening. This is very, very important. Now coming to the another component or another part of the non-verbal component is that you are being aware of speaker's non-verbal messages. What do I mean by that? When we pay attention to speaker's body language, we gain insight into how that person is feeling as well as the intensity of the feeling. The speaker also understand that the audience is attentive towards me. They are giving attention. Or in one-to-one or small group communication, the speaker feels that yes, I am being listened. Then through careful attention to body language and paraverbal messages, we are able to develop hunches about what the speaker or listener is communicating. This is very, very important. And we can then, through reflective listening skills, check the accuracy of those hunches by expressing in our own words our impression of what is being communicated. So the three components of speaking, learning, listening is also important as that were the speaking, and we learned that these three components are the verbal component, the paraverbal component, and the non-verbal component. So I end here. Tomorrow will be the last session of this communication, and in that we will summarize and we will practically see that how we can make our communication as an effective communication. Till tomorrow, take care. Khuda Hafiz.